you guys all together. We're going to have a few different press outlets.
Okay.
And they're all just
In
one-
here after this.
Yeah, we're going to move
Copy
some
that.
papers together.
Okay.
Got
Thank
it?
you, Margaret.
Sure.
You
You
the
want
best.
water or anything?
Can I get a water?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Joey.
Hey, nice to meet you. It's Sarah, right?
Yes.
Sorry, there's so many names. Thank
No,
you.
that's okay. I'm from the MacGuffin.
Oh, cool.
Kind of small online site.
Wicked.
I saw the movie last night for the first time. So you said it was the first time it's premiered anywhere. Everyone else has seen it. Oh, what did you think of how people reacted to it?
Oh, I have no clue. I mean, today it's been lovely. You know, as an actor, like, I kind of couldn't give a hoot about a review because it's like, I had a great teacher in theater school who said to Kevin Klein when he got a really good review for playing Falstaff at the Lincoln Center, you know, congratulations on your great review. And Kevin Klein said, Moni, if I believe the good ones, I have to believe the bad ones. I don't care about reviews at all. And I love that. It being my first film and all that, I have to admit, I don't quite feel that way. And so I couldn't really gauge it, to be honest, because it's like, if it's a comedy and they're laughing, it's working. And, you know, I know that's kind of a crude way to put it, but it went the way I thought it would. Like, I spoke to my producer, Nicole, about it beforehand, and I said, like, I'm pretty sure people are going to laugh whenever they can as a kind of release, that maybe a couple people will walk out and that it'll be very silent in there.
Yeah.
I was really happy, like, when people laughed when the character Sammy says, you know, we are getting married, it's because she's pregnant. It just felt like everyone was so keyed into the movie to have that reaction. And then it started to come out today that we've had some really lovely and loving things said by, like, BuzzFeed or just private tweeting and stuff. And that, obviously that, like, really makes you feel good. And just, like, strangers you ain't never met, you'll probably never see again, come up afterwards and are so respectful and loving and seem to really have had an experience with it. So it's lovely. It's just tough, man. Like, you sit in the back and the projector's a tiny bit loud and it's like a very different experience than I've ever had before.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool for me as, like, a reviewer. I wouldn't say I'm a critic, but to come to a festival like this versus reviewing, like, the big releases back home in Dallas, you know, you really get to sit down with people who really care what you think, and, you know, because their movie hasn't gone anywhere yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool for a small reviewer and then, you know, small indie films to kind of, you know, go back and forth. So it's really cool that you brought it here. What is the origin of this story? I mean, where did it come from in your head?
I started out just having I wanted to explore grief over time and write something that was truthful to me about a prolonged grief. Like, I'd seen great movies, you know, like Ordinary People, about grief maybe, you know, that was a bit more immediate. And then from there, it just kind of logically and naturally became a more conventional love story. And it just became from an influence of a certain number of films that I love, a story about two really damaged people who, I wanted to look at how love is changed by people's personal traumas just because of life experience, because of, you know, I guess, you know, it's not autobiographical, but it's a very personal film, and got to imagine nobody would set out to write something like this if they had no personal reason to do it. So it wasn't like, there was a strategy behind it. I think at a certain point, unfortunately, bipolar disorder started, maybe because of how the DSMs have changed, the medical journals or manuals, it started to just be talked about more. But I'd already been writing this for years. By the time, like, it was an illness that was, I guess, more public than it had been. But, you know, much better to have no reason to write this film than me not be sitting here with you, obviously. But my hope more than anything is that, like, my favorite films have kind of helped me through my days in my life and my more difficult times. I know it's not an easy film to watch. I think it's important that, as much as I'm able to, it was a realistic film about what it's like to be that sick. I abhor and take very personally when films are made that purport to be about mental illness or loss, and they're really just cute little rom-coms disguised as something just, you know, to, I don't know what the reason for that would be. I understand this would not be the kind of film that would be for everyone. And I think that's good. I think it's
Yeah.
good that I'm interested in the way it's been polarizing so far in terms of like.
It's a lot about the story. It's about the two people, and there's not a lot of extra stuff.
Right. I'm not very interested in
Yeah.
plot at this point in my career.
Yeah.
I'm an actor who's made a film, and
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in making films than pursuing acting. But I'm interested in people. I love people watching, and I don't ever mean that. If you watch a dude too long, you get mad dogs, and everyone's like, "What?" It's like, I was just interested in the way you walk, dude. But yeah, I'm just it's interesting because formally I'm a lot more interested in like Steve McQueen, his films, or Andrea Arnold, or Jonathan Glazer, or like this film from 1964, Pale Flower. I love just formally this Yakuza movie. But in terms of story, I'm a lot more driven by like the tenets of a Cassavetes or somebody who's just talking about love.
Yeah. It's a man's movie. Like it's a person who really loves like the quiet movies.
Thanks.
They're gonna like it.
Thanks.
When did you start writing this, and when did it finally come to day one shooting?
Well, I started writing something about 10 years ago. It
wow.
changed over time to the point where this storyline was probably like 7 years ago in terms of these characters. But what it grew out of was started 10 years ago. I mean, sometimes I left it for like 2 years, year and a half. Sometimes I'd work on it straight for 3 months. It had a whole other life in the States back. It was like a finalist for the Sundance Lab in 2009, and I was supposed to do it with an American company, and I wasn't ready. It wasn't ready, so everything kind of really does happen for a reason, I think. But obviously having Tom and Tad on board makes a huge difference. But the one person who picked it up and put it on her back and carried it was my producer, Nicole Hilliard Ford. I have a wonderful team. There's many wonderful people, but she is the one person more than anyone who deserves the credit for us all being here now. Okay. And I would have to say, in an industry that's still sexist, in a world that's still sexist, a really super tough, unbelievable, creative, amazing female producer carried this movie.
Wow.
No question. No question.
Can you speak a little bit about casting? I mean, you got Tatiana, you've got Tom. When Marie walks on, I was like, man, I've seen her somewhere. It took me a minute, but she's from Mommy.
Yeah.
Suzanne.
Yeah.
And I was like, son of a... That's really awesome. I mean, how'd you, get this cast all together?
Again, I'm fortunate. Nicole is a professional casting
really?
director.
Oh, well, that's
so
nice.
Tad I met on a film, and we became friends through her agreeing to do this. I showed her a draft 5 years ago. We did my first short together. Tom came on, a couple years after that, once they were dating, and I got to know him. I'd already kind of been secretly writing it for him once I met him through her, because I loved him in Weekend and I love Weekend. And then from there, that's a really solid base. Actors want to work with other great actors, so being able to go out to someone like Suzanne and say you'd be working with Tom and Tat is very attractive. But to Suzanne's credit, I think she just came on because she loves to act, and she liked the script, and she liked me, and she wanted to work with Tat and Tom, and it was just a bit of everything. And Nicole, my producer, has been a casting director, kind of like I've been an actor for about 10, 13 years now. She's been a casting director, her own company for 15 years, I think. So she is able to just go out to the community and make offers, and Suzanne got the script and just said yes. It's just working with Tom and Tad is amazing in every way, from a creative point of view and from a personal point of view. But then by the time we were making it, they were my friends. So it's just I'm making this film with my friends. Whereas Suzanne, I never met till we were working on it, and I was like, Suzanne Clement's in a movie? Me and Tat were because she's a huge Xavier Dolan fan too, and a huge Suzanne fan. We were like, what?
It's good. It's good casting. I mean, there's only 4 or 5 really.
Yeah,
actors.
the main players. Yeah. We just again Nicole and I and Bobby and all of us, we share a similar taste, which is so important. There's music in the movie. The music in the first club and in the last club is this LA artist named Drumstyle who I'm obsessed with, and to me that's as important as all of them, to be honest. That song in the last club is as big a character in the movie as an actor to me. And there was just key things that kind of came through, I played Nicole that song when we were starting to get together, and most people would be like, whoa, that's dark, and she was just like, Trump sound. So, it's just that kind of a thing where
Yeah.
like you find the people you're supposed to be working with.
Spoiler alert. If you could kind of, not just to like explain, but why did you end the film where you decided to end it?
Well, yeah, that's a spoiler. Yeah. What's really important to me is that there's hope in the movie, but it's realistic hope for people that damaged. I really don't think it's fair to deal with a story about these kind of damaged people and then wrap it up in a bow. There's no such
Yes.
thing as closure in real life in my
Yes.
experience. So to give some kind of finality or closure to the movie to me is, I don't know if you can swear on this or not, but it's fucking bullshit. It's
Yeah.
rude. It's not right. The film for me more than anything is for people who unfortunately have lost someone or does love somebody who is ill or is ill. It's for everyone, hopefully. And I'm as excited to hear why people hate it as love it, or I'd rather people hate it or love it than like it, for sure. But in terms of like having to make it a certain way, it would just be human injustice to try and wrap that up. And to me, it's important that the film is embedded with a feeling of a fact to me, which is that time does not heal all wounds. It's not true. It's a Hollywood trope. Time heals all wounds, which doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. It's not true. If you've loved someone and they're lost, time can be hard because it's longer since you've seen them. So Nikki's still gonna be a grieving man, and she's still gonna be bipolar, but they have each other. And I guess to me, that's what the ending is about. You know what? It's funny. Like, I think something like that can at times be found in the edit, but that is exactly how it's written, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joey.
Thanks for
I really
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah.